So I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on this because this is not a new tool. It's new to me, but these have been out for a long time. There's a lot of reviews on them. They eat batteries pretty quick. I had a little, you know, like the 2-3 amp hour batteries. Man, in like 5 minutes or so, it's hot. The battery's hot, and it just doesn't have the ampacity for a tool like this. It's just like if you're using a Dewalt circular saw. You got to go with at least a 5 amp hour battery for those things to kind of function practically. So yeah, maybe 5 minutes and the battery will heat up on those small batteries. Now the 5 amp hour battery, it does pretty well, about 20 minutes on high. So you get something done with that. I mean, you're not blowing leaves on a half an acre of land with this thing. It's just not what you would buy this for. You live in a city, you got a little driveway, something like that, you know, a little small 10 by 10 yard or something like that. Or you just want to blow the leaves off your car, or, you know, some debris and stuff like that. We used to use them in the shops just to blow the dust and stuff out of the shop and stuff like that. So that's kind of where these things kind of play at. They're not in any means any type of a replacement for a gas blower unless you have a tiny yard, or you're using it like what I'm using it for, which is just to blow the leaves, sucks the air in from the back, blows it out the front. There's the model number if you're interested. But yeah, just to blow the leaves off the back of my truck. Bed cover is really what I bought it for. And then I got, you know, your deck, your porches, something like that. Yeah, this shines because you don't have to fight with the gas and all of what goes along with that. But any type of real work, you're not using that for it. Kills the batteries too quick. You better have a lot of batteries. It doesn't overheat the tool. It overheats the batteries. The tool is solid. It just sucks those batteries down. The 5 amp hour didn't get hot like the 2.5 amp hour or whatever it is. So, and I hadn't tried a power stack on it yet. But anyway, this is kind of what I use these cases for. So this is the new one. This is the one I've been running, and I like to keep my stuff storage compartmentalized. I'm working on one thing. I got a tool bag for that thing. I got a case for that thing. So I got electrical ones. I got plumbing ones. I'm probably going to find a small version to do with hydraulics, because my hydraulic fittings and attachments are all over the place, and that's just ridiculous. So I'll probably be buying probably a small one like this for hydraulics. And but you see what I got. This is my plumbing stuff. So 1/2-inch PEX, shut-off valves, city water inlets, and I do buy the good ones. I have some of the cheap ones too. You know, every now and then you get that person that's crying about the bill. So you keep plastic parts for them, you know, so they don't want to pay $6 or $7 for this fitting. They want this one for, you know, 89 cents. So it is what it is. My caps, different caps to cap off lines. When you're working on stuff, a lot of times you need to cap off things so that you can work with surfaces on. And then sometimes, like the line that goes on the toilet, it's going to be a line like this. So you would have to put a union and then some sort of a cap. Okay. Speaking of unions, that's what I got. Then I got my 90s. I also have these over here in the brass. Like I said, for most of my customers, I'm going to use the higher quality brass fittings. For some customers who are very price conscious, I will use the plastic, and the plastic is the OEM. This is what they use at the manufacturer because it is cheap, not because it is better, because it's cheap. They crack and break and people don't winterize a camper and stuff like that. Okay, so moving back over here, I have this other little specialized fitting so you can make it easy for you when you have to replumb something. So here is a PEX. Put a crimp connector on this end, and it gives you this threaded connector here, so you can use like a piece of flex or something like that. So very handy when you're having redo water heaters and things like that, and it's in a crazy spot and you don't want to have to put like 3 different 90s and all these breaks and bends in the PEX, and you can just use a piece of flex. And same here, 90 with supposed to be a 1/2 inch barb. That looks kind of small for a 1/2 inch barb. It's supposed to be a 1/2 inch barb though. And again, straight male 1/2 inch, you know. Got some shark bite stuff for working with old campers. They still have that 3/8 pipe, and it's normally going to be white, and it's as soon as you grab it, you know it's not 1/2 inch, but you know, sometimes when you're in a hurry, you're not really thinking about it. It's like, well, everything's 1/2 inch, so it's 1/2 inch. It's 3/8, okay? And it's hard to find 3/8 fittings. It's hard to find the connectors, the crimp connectors to put on 3/8 because they have to be so small. So for those, I use push to connect, so you can see how I have like a specialized fittings where I can go from 3/8 to that 1/2 inch NPT. So I could go to like a piece of flex, or I could transition from that to something like this, and then turn it back into PEX and do what I gotta do. So that's why I keep the shark bites. Here's another example. We got the female, so if I have fitting like this, PEX, put my threads on it, and then I have the female shark bite with the internal 1/2 inch threads. You see I got a union on that one. So got to come up with some creative ideas for a lot of stuff, especially when you're strapped for space. That's another reason why I keep a fair amount of push to connect connectors, because when you're in a tight space and you can't really afford to cut the pipe very short, you know, you're already kind of at your limit with the pipe, well, you're not using regular PEX connectors. At that point, you got to go with a push to connect so that you can preserve the length of pipe, because you don't have much to work with without like spending extra hours that you're not getting paid for to disassemble cabinets and whatnot. So you don't want to do that. Over here, we got plugs. Now this is super handy. Keep some of these in your toolbox, guys, because like I said, when you're working on stuff, like take a toilet out, plug the line with one of these, put a plug in it. You can leave the water on and keep testing, searching down leaks and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it for this box. So you can kind of see what I got going on. And that's the supplement, not to replace, because as you can see, I have so many unique items as far as the plumbing, and I keep all my PEX hardware as far as the ear hose crimps, the crimp rings and things like that. I keep those in the plumbing bag in the pockets, because I'm using a TP XXL, which is a meter bag, so it comes with 2 side pockets. So I keep my connectors in one of the side pockets, and then I keep in both of the side pockets in that one I keep connectors, the hardware to attach all this stuff. All right, well, just wanted to show you that. Got the screws in the Vito bag. It's heavy, and they'll be getting transferred into a box that I have, like a larger version of this, a Mac Tools version of that I keep all of my nuts, bolts, screws, and that type of hardware goes into a totally different box. And I pretty much got the whole truck like that. So that's what we got. RV Tech Pro.